The execution of Aaron Brian Gunches, a question of justice and closure. Did the execution of Aaron Brian Gunches bring true closure to the family of Ted Price, or does it simply mark the end of a long and painful legal chapter? The complexities surrounding this case demand a deeper examination. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Aaron Brian Gunches was executed in Arizona for the brutal 2002 murder of Ted Price. This execution represents the culmination of a legal process that has stretched over 2 decades, a testament to the enduring impact of violent crime. This event was the second of 4 executions scheduled in the United States this week, highlighting the ongoing debate surrounding capital punishment. It also marks the first execution under a Democratic governor in Arizona since 2017, adding another layer of political and ethical consideration. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays stated, "The family of Ted Price has been waiting for justice for more than 2 decades. They deserve closure." But does the death of the perpetrator truly deliver the closure that victims' families seek? The murder of Ted Price occurred in 2002, stemming from a heated argument involving his ex-wife and Aaron Brian Gunches. This seemingly personal dispute quickly escalated into a calculated act of violence. During the argument, Price's ex-wife physically struck him, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to his tragic demise. Gunches, acting as more than just a bystander, orchestrated Price's kidnapping and subsequent murder in the unforgiving Arizona desert. Gunches was apprehended in 2003 after a separate incident involving a shooting at a state trooper. This act of violence ultimately provided the crucial link to the Price murder case. Ballistics evidence recovered from the scene of the trooper shooting directly connected Gunches to the murder weapon used in Ted Price's death. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Gunches pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in 2007, seemingly accepting responsibility for his heinous crime. The execution of Aaron Brian Gunches was carried out by lethal injection, utilizing the drug pentobarbital. This method, while considered humane by some, remains a subject of intense scrutiny and ethical debate. John Barcelo, the deputy director of Arizona's Department of Corrections, officially confirmed Gunches' death, marking the end of his life and the beginning of a new chapter for the Price family. According to official reports, the execution proceeded without any apparent complications. The lethal injection was administered through intravenous lines inserted into Gunches' arms, a procedure that is often criticized for its potential to cause unnecessary suffering. However, witness accounts offer conflicting perspectives on the actual experience. A death penalty law professor present at the execution suggested that Gunches may have suffered from pulmonary edema, a condition where fluid accumulates in the lungs. This claim raises concerns about the potential for pain and suffering during the execution process. However, Michael Kiefer, a journalist from the Arizona Mirror who also witnessed the execution, reported that he did not observe any signs of pulmonary edema. This discrepancy highlights the challenges of accurately assessing the experience of the condemned during lethal injection. Prior to his execution, Gunches' last meal consisted of a double Western bacon cheeseburger, fries, onion rings, and baklava. This seemingly mundane detail offers a glimpse into the final moments of a man facing his own mortality. In a surprising turn of events, Gunches actively requested that his execution be expedited, a decision that baffled many observers. He cited a desire for closure for the Price family as his primary motivation. Despite his willingness to face execution, Gunches declined to make a final statement to the Price family, leaving them without a direct apology or explanation. This silence further complicates the narrative surrounding his motives. In 2022, Gunches even asked the Arizona Supreme Court to issue an execution warrant against him, demonstrating a clear desire to hasten his own demise. He later withdrew this request, adding another layer of complexity to his motivations. In late December, Gunches again petitioned the state's highest court, urging them to bypass legal formalities and schedule his execution as quickly as possible. This persistent desire for execution raises questions about his mental state and his understanding of the consequences. Throughout the execution process, Gunches never addressed the Price family, maintaining a stoic silence that offered no comfort or explanation. His actions suggest a complex mix of guilt, resignation, and perhaps even a desire for self-punishment. Gunches made no attempt to avoid being put to death, a stark contrast to the typical legal battles fought by death row inmates. When the board scheduled a meeting to confirm his wishes, he declined to participate, further solidifying his acceptance of his fate. The Price family expressed that the pain of their loss remained profound, even after 2 decades. The execution of Gunches, while providing a sense of legal closure, could not erase the enduring grief caused by Ted's murder. Price's sister, Karen, acknowledged the relief of concluding the legal proceedings, but emphasized that the execution did not bring true healing. The emotional scars of the crime remained deeply embedded in their lives. Karen Price described her brother as a kind and loving person, highlighting the devastating impact of his loss on their family. His absence continues to be felt deeply, a constant reminder of the violence that took him away. Karen Price stated that her family was devastated by Ted's death, a sentiment that resonates with countless victims of violent crime. The ripple effects of such tragedies extend far beyond the immediate victim, impacting entire families and communities. Karen Price emphasized that closure doesn't fully capture the depth of their grief, underscoring the limitations of the legal system in addressing the emotional wounds of crime. The pain of loss often lingers long after the legal proceedings have concluded. Price's daughter, Brittany, expressed gratitude for the end of a painful chapter, acknowledging the toll that the legal process had taken on her family. The constant reliving of the crime has been a source of immense stress and emotional strain. Brittany Price stated that the pain of reliving the circumstances surrounding my father's death for over 2 decades has taken a significant toll on my family and me. This statement highlights the often overlooked burden placed on victims' families during lengthy legal battles. Gunches' execution had originally been scheduled for April 2023, but was delayed due to concerns about the state's death penalty procedures. This delay underscores the ongoing debate surrounding capital punishment and the need for careful scrutiny of execution protocols. The execution was called off after Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs ordered a review of the state's death penalty procedures, reflecting a growing awareness of the potential for errors and injustices in the system. This review aimed to ensure that executions are carried out fairly and humanely. Hobbs subsequently fired the retired judge she had appointed to conduct the review, raising questions about the independence and impartiality of the process. This decision further fueled the controversy surrounding the death penalty in Arizona. The state's corrections department announced changes in the team that lethally injects death row prisoners, indicating a commitment to improving the execution process and minimizing the risk of complications. These changes reflect a growing awareness of the ethical responsibilities associated with capital punishment. The execution of Aaron Brian Gunches raises profound questions about justice, closure, and the role of capital punishment in society. Did this execution truly serve the interests of justice, or did it simply perpetuate a cycle of violence and suffering? The complexities of this case demand further reflection and critical analysis. We must continue to examine the ethical, legal, and emotional implications of capital punishment to ensure that our justice system is truly just and humane. Call to action. Share this video to spark a crucial conversation about the death penalty. Research the arguments for and against capital punishment. Contact your elected officials to voice your opinion on this important issue. Only through informed dialogue and active engagement can we hope to create a more just and compassionate society.